Good morning, I'm Mez Deline, and I'm here with my almost daily Oracle card. I think I've missed 3 days this month. And I'm drawing from the Sacred Rebels Guidebook deck. Today's card is Spirals of Manifestation. Just take a moment to look at the beauty of this artwork. Pretty yummy. The creative, rebellious path of love moves in spirals. It is not linear. Sometimes our mind decides that the way forward is to take clear steps from one point to the next logical point. However, there is a genius within that can guide us on an alternative route. If there's an unnecessary pothole or delay in the typical linear path of progression, and the curved loop in the path will be quicker, more fun, and more beautiful, then why not allow yourself to be guided to that path? Even if it's a slower path, I'd say. This can happen through trust and wisdom rather than rigid adherence to what on the surface appears to be the logical progression. You are in the midst of a spiral of manifestation. Something is coming into being, even if you think it is further away than ever before. How amazing it will seem when you have been dreaming of, when what you have been dreaming of falls into place. Suddenly, what you have been thinking of creating will plonk into your reality, seemingly out of nowhere. Because it is just around the bend, just out of view on the spiral of manifestation, and you could not see it coming. In truth, it was coming to you all along. This oracle has a message for you. Sometimes, when we feel the furthest away from what we want, we are actually closer than ever before. Just one turn on the spiral loop of creation can see your manifestation taking root in the world. You must hold true to your faith and keep working on your progress. Forget about believing it when you are seeing it. Any old soul or young soul can do that. You are a bigger, braver, more ancient soul. You have enough chutzpah to believe it so that you can see it sooner, bigger, and brighter. Do not give in to those who tell you it should have happened already or that you have failed. They are just suffering from a lack of patience and understanding, as well as an arrogant assumption that their notion of timing is somehow superior to the greater divine timing at play in life. Be in goodwill with yourself and the universe. All is unfolding perfectly, whether you feel it right now or not. This oracle also brings a message to you about the perfect synchronicities that are taking place in your life. You have started to notice these already. When we live from the heart, honor our creative center, and choose unlikely but lovingly rebellious ways to be in the world, we will begin to notice synchronicity every day. It is as though the universe is speaking to us intimately on all matters, which of course it is. This oracle reminds you that there is no point rushing to the bus stop. If you are way too early, you are just wasting your time. Better to live your life at a more appropriate pace and get there at the right time. You don't need the anxiety that comes from rushing towards your destiny. Try not to worry quite so much about the future. You will attract what you want and need so much more enjoyably if you relax and deal with the here and now. Remember, too, that your life path is unfolding in harmony with the paths of others. You will meet with each other for the greatest benefit when you trust in the flow of the one great creative spiral upon which this galaxy spins. Everything is ultimately in harmony with everything else to fulfill the great, big, creative intent of the supreme creative force of love. You're included in that. Lucky. So this was another beautiful card, and I think it was Einstein that said that time wasn't linear. And so it's hard as humans to wrap our minds around the fact that time isn't linear, and that it's like if you imagine a spiral, everything is happening all at once, but we are living in one moment, right? And so some say that, all of our lifetimes, past, present, and future, are all occurring, they're all in motion now. We just happen to be in this moment, in this lifetime. And so for me, this makes me think of, my own life, of course, and how I had certain goals in my mind, dreams, desires, and ideas. And I reached a certain age, I think, well, it was when I was really sick when I was 60. And I thought, I guess I'm done, you know? And excuse me. I had no energy to even hold up my own head at the time. I thought my life as I know it is over. I can't travel. I can't do all these things that I thought I would be doing. And at first I was, resisting that thought. And then I thought about my life, and I looked at the greater picture of my life and all the beautiful things that had happened and all the adventures that I've had and all the beautiful people in my life. And I thought, well, if this is it, it's been a good life and I'm okay with that, right? And then I got well. And now I have more vitality than I did in my 30s, I swear. So, but now I'm looking at, then I went through this period where I thought, oh, I'm too old. I'm too old to live my dreams. I'm too old to make my dreams happen. And I should have had that book published before now and all those things, right? And that's just not the truth. It's all on this spiral, right? And so it's not on a linear timeline. There's no way of saying that this should have been done at this certain time. All was done in divine order. And I call it divine order. I also use the term divine timing a lot in my life. And that's because, we have our own timing. We have a desire. It's great to set goals. And I know that that's a good thing to do, but I have a hard time with setting goals because in my life, I just see that it's divine timing. My timing is not always divine timing. I have had things happen that, like, I have my friend Karen, who I've talked about before, she called it divine appointments, where when the right person, when I'm supposed to connect with this person, the right situation occurs. It might be in the middle of a grocery store. It might be in a bathroom. It might be, who knows, they might show up in my class. And so it's a divine appointment, right? And it's divine timing. So that makes me think of a story that my friend DJ Conway, who wrote many books and was a very successful author and made a good living from her writing, and she would tell me, you don't need a degree to be an author. And even though I knew that, I went back to school, and my degree gave me the confidence that I needed to show people my work without fear, right? And so that was a big hurdle I overcame. But anyway, back to DJ. She showed up in my belly dance class, and her name is Deanna. And her name was Deanna Conway, and I didn't think anything of it, right? And she was, at the time, I think 65. And she came to my class because she had some health problems. She had a heart problem. She'd had a stroke. She was trying to, get her physical body back into balance. And it happened, let me tell you. That's another whole story. But anyway, so she was in class, I don't know, if 3 or 4 weeks, maybe 5 or 6 weeks. And then one day, she stayed after class a little bit, and I asked her, because, I just felt connected to her, right? And I said, so what do you do for a living? She said, oh, I'm a writer. I'm an author. And all of a sudden it clicked in my brain, Deanna Conway. DJ Conway. And I said, are you DJ Conway? I mean, I lived in a little town of Sutherland. She's internationally famous with her books, right? And she goes, yeah. And I said, oh my God, you're famous. I felt like a fangirl. I'm telling you what, I just was so excited. And she just looked at me and she goes, well, you're famous too. She was a woman. She had published, I think, almost 40 books, maybe more than 40, I don't know, on every metaphysical subject imaginable, from witchcraft to healing with stones to how to use a pendulum to so many things, right? And she was like, I thought of her as the Wiccan priestess queen. And she had such a wealth of knowledge, and it was a divine appointment. It was divine timing for me to meet this person, to become inspired by this person, to learn from this person. And she showed up in my belly dance class in this tiny town of Sutherland that has less than 7,000 people. Okay, so that spiral of manifestation, just trust it. Trust that it's all there waiting for you. It might be a straightforward path. For me, sometimes it's not even like going around the circle, it's going up. It's like all of a sudden I went from here to here. Poof. It seems like poof. But really what it was is maybe that spiral was moving really fast that day or something. I don't know. So life is just such an adventure. And remember that if it doesn't happen in your timing, it's happening in divine timing. And just trust that your life is this beautiful spiral of, as it said, the creative, rebellious path of love moves in spirals. You are on a divinely beautiful spiral path of love. Blessings to you.